ما هي الطريقة التي نعرف بها أمير المؤمنين؟ There are some problems and difficulties in the nations and also for persons. And how can we differentiate between this punishment and the test from Allah? If it is a test or is it a punishment?
That is ibtela and azab. The difference between
ibtela and
azab. Trial and wrath of Allah.
Yes, trial. Yes.
So the point is that we have a very excellent example in the daily experience of farmers in their farming lands. On the soil they sow the seed or plant things. There often is a process whereby they root out the undesired element from the fields. In every crop there are intruders, plants of different types, thorny plants and unwanted wayward plants carried by winds, who take root on that soil and suck the blood which should have belonged to the crop which was intended to be sown, and take it away, and the crop is destroyed. The yield is very small. So then the farmers go for uprooting these things. They move. There are very different types of machines made for this. When you have the tractor, once making passes over this land, the crops which appear prior to that, very healthy and wonderful, but mixed with the undesirable plants, they, after the passes of the tractor with that special machine which almost shakes everything, if you look at the field, it's all shaken up and colorless and apparently destroyed. But what happens is that in that machine there is a system that the real crop would withstand the pressure, but the undesirable foreign element will not be able to withstand the pressure. So after a while you see the foreign plants drying out, turning yellow and rooted out and then carried away by winds here and there, and the real plants, after suffering the first shock, show a positive reaction. And instead of one stalk, there emerges and erupts a bunch of stalks, and that is what we call in Punjabi boota marna. That is a phenomenon well known to the Zamindar. So this is trial by Allah. In trial, the weak among the Muslims, among the faithful, which are rotten inside, which are hypocrites, etc., and which are like foreign bodies within the Muslim body. At the period of trial, all the Muslim Ummah, truly Muslim Ummah, also seems to wither out, like what happened at Azab, like what happened at Uhud. In the first shock, if you see their faces, they're very much beaten up and withered and gone through a big beating and suffering. But at the same time, you see all the foreign elements rooted out from them. All the hypocrites joining the banner of Abdullah bin Ubay Salul and walking out. All the hypocrites at Azab showing themselves, becoming naked and bare, visible. They could say, these are the people. So this is ibtela. In ibtela, the moment the believer also receives a sort of punishment and a beating, and in the beginning he suffers as well, shows the signs of suffering, but in that process the foreign element from the soil of Islam is completely rooted out and thrown out, and then remain the healthy plants. Then they flourish. And when they, in the second phase, flourish and spread, they fill the whole field with greenery and wonderful scenes. This is ibtela. But when azab comes, there is no such thing. It's like lightning striking at a field. And whatever is there is destroyed. It's finished. When the deluge of water comes, it carries away everything with it. No field, no seed, nothing. It doesn't distinguish between the right and wrong. But when Allah decides to send these heavenly signs of punishment, He somehow sees to it that the true believers are saved. And they are saved by a different process of revelation, dreams, etc., where they are forewarned. And also by special processes. So the effect of azab is exactly the opposite to the effect of ibtela. In ibtela, the smaller element of foreign presence is destroyed and the main body is saved. In azab, the main body is destroyed and the foreign elements of believers in them, that is saved. And that begins to flourish after they are destroyed. So in both these cases, the believers benefit from, whether it is azab for a people or an ibtila for the believers. Yes. In both these cases, the outcome is always in the favor of the believers. When it is azab, at large scale the enemy is being wiped out, and somehow God saves the believers and gives them greater space to move in, more opportunity to prosper in the vacancies created by the destruction of the enemy.
May I just explain something, Hudur? That means ibtila, trial, is a reforming process. That means the future becomes better.
It is a reform, not reforming. It is a process of reformation to a degree. Because the mu'mineen, when they go through this, their faith is further strengthened. That is reformation. Also, when they realize some weaknesses, they shed them. There is no time now. They must become clean to survive in this and to become closer to God rather than be thrown away from God. So this is a process of reformation only in that sense. Yeah, I mean, otherwise, yes, it is a process of giving new boost to the faithful. Yes. To let them proliferate like never before.
That means when they come out from this trial, they are much better than before.
Exactly, they are stronger.
Yes, that I what I mean.
They are stronger and more powerful, bigger than before.
Punishment, that is complete destruction.
Punishment destroys the people apparently indiscriminately. Because in the flood of Noah, whoever would stand out, who would be destroyed. But those who are small, they should have been destroyed along with the majority. They are saved by a special device by God until the result is exactly the same as that of ibtila. When they survive that big threat to their existence, then all the land is left to them to prosper. You see?
Yes.
The result of both is always favorable to the Muslim believers. The result of both is always unfavorable and destructive to the enemies of truth. Clear?
Yes, yes.
Now I am going to quote a verse of the Holy Quran which speaks of this subject. Just, have you got it? Fattal, you know, that verse. Got it? Yes. We have got only less than a minute left, but I will be able to read that verse. In the light of what I have said, everybody would understand very clearly. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم ابتغاء مرضات الله وتثبيتا من أنفسهم كمثل جنة بربوة أصابها وابل فآتت أكلها ضعفين فإن لم يصبها وابل فالطل والله بما تعملون بصير. But those who are munafiqeen or weak, the same thing destroys them. If it is very heavy rain, it will carry them away. If it is tal, it will not be sufficient for their survival. So it says, فَمَثَلُهُ كَمَثَلِ صَفْوَانٍ عَلَيْهِ تُرَابٌ فَأَصَابَهُ وَابِلٌ فَتَرَكَهُ صَلْدًا. They carried away and destroyed. So this is the same force of the rain used to support and give new life to the believers and their works. Works as a source of destruction and annihilation for those who do not have any roots in them. They're meaningless things.
Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.